Hello, my name is Zoltan Kochan, and today I'm going to talk about pnpm, which is a fast disk space efficient package manager. Before that, let me introduce myself. I'm Zoltan Kochan. I was born and raised in Ukraine. I currently live in Ukraine as well. For now I'm safe. I work remotely for Bit. Bit is a company that helps developers do component-based development. Before Bit, I worked for Just Answer for 9 years, and in the meanwhile, since 2016, I'm constantly developing and maintaining pnpm. Before talking about pnpm, let's briefly talk about other JavaScript package managers. The most popular Node.js or JavaScript package manager is npm, which is the official package manager of the npm registry. It is shipped by Node.js, and in the past npm had a lot of issues, like it was slow, it was undeterministic, it was giving funny results sometimes, so some alternatives were created. One of the alternatives was created by Facebook. You probably heard about Yarn, which is the second most popular package manager after npm. It is now maintained by the community, and it did solve a lot of the issues that npm had in version 3 and I think version 4. Since then, in v2, Yarn has switched to use plug and play by default. So even though it does support classic node modules installation, now it prefers and recommends to use plug and play, which many love and many hate. I personally think it's a cool feature. And Yarn is currently shipped with the latest version of Node.js through the Corpac tool. And the third most popular package manager is pnpm. It is a completely indie project. It was created by open source contributors to fix the issues of npm version 3 at the same time as Yarn 2. So and pnpm is not like a new project. It exists since Yarn exists, basically. And now it is supported by Bit because I work at Bit, and pnpm is heavily used in the Bit CLI for package management, and pnpm as well is shipped with Node.js through the Corpac feature of Node.js. If we compare these package managers by popularity, obviously npm is currently the most popular one, then Yarn, and pnpm is the less popular, even though pnpm came out at the same time as Yarn. But of course Facebook had a lot of marketing power to make Yarn very popular at the start. However, even though pnpm is less popular for now, it had a big spike in popularity last year. So in 2021, pnpm was downloaded 3 times more than in 2020. And we have a lot of big tech companies that already use pnpm. So even Microsoft uses pnpm in some of its projects. and the TikTok front-end team uses pnpm. So pnpm works really well and is production ready for sure. Now let's see what makes pnpm unique. So when you install a dependency with npm or yarn classic, all the sub-dependencies are hoisted to the root of Node modules. As you may see in this example, even though only Express is in the dependencies, all those other packages are also hoisted to the root of Node modules. On the contrary, pnpm is only put in Express to the root of Node modules. So even though cookie is not a dependency of your project, importing it will work. This is dangerous. This is a dangerous situation. Your package will work locally fine, and it will even work when you install it as a dependency. But what will happen if a new version of Express comes out and cookie is not in its dependencies anymore? Your package will break. pnpm prevents such mistakes. With pnpm, your code has only access to packages that are declared as dependencies of your project. But how is pnpm able to create such an isolated Node module structure? In this example, you see Express is a direct dependency and cookie is a dependency of Express. As you can see, only Express is placed to the root of the project's Node modules folder, and cookie and actually that Express inside Node modules, it is a symlink. It is just a symlink to a folder inside the .pnpm folder. This works because when searching for dependencies, the Node.js resolution algorithm is using the real location of the package as a starting point for searching its dependencies. The real location of Express is inside the .pnpm folder. So Node.js will search for cookie in the dedicated Node modules folder, which is at .pnpm express at 4.17.3 /node modules. And of course, you can see that cookie inside the Node modules of Express is also just a symlink to a folder with the real location of cookie. Let me show you a quick demo. So I have an empty project. I run pnpm add express. Installation is completed. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so ignore this. This is something we hoist by default to fix some issues with types, but you can see that Express is only hoisted and it is a symlink. The real location of Express is here. And here are in this folder also all the other direct dependencies of Express. So you can see here cookie, but cookie is actually a symlink to a dedicated folder, isolated folder for the cookie dependency here. So actually cookie is here, and this is a symlink to cookie. Like also this is also a symlink to this folder of the accept package. So this is the real location of accepts, and these are the dependencies of accepts. So you can accepts. So you can see that each package is in its own isolated folder with its own dependencies. Let's return to the slides. pnpm has also very good Monorepo support, thanks to its superior node module structure. The hosted node modules directory structure is even worse in a Monorepo, because in a Monorepo, when a hosted node modules layout is used, all dependencies of all projects are hosted to the root of the Monorepo. Hence, projects have access even to dependencies of other projects. So in this example, there is a Monorepo with two projects, foo and bar. Foo has one dependency, dep of foo, as you can see in its package.json file, and bar has also one dependency, dep of bar. Both, if a hosted node modules is used, both dependencies are hosted to the root of the Monorepo. So foo has access to the dependency of bar, and bar has access to the dependency of foo. If you accidentally require the dep of bar in foo, this code will work locally. However, foo will break when installed as a dependency outside of the Monorepo. So this is even worse than in a single project scenario, because in a single project scenario it might break in the future, but in this case it will break after the first release of the package. With pnpm's isolated node module structure, projects have access only to their own dependencies. In a Monorepo, pnpm creates a single .pnpm folder in the root of the Monorepo, and projects of the workspace link only their direct dependencies. So both foo and bar have access only to their own dependencies. You might ask yourself, why is npm not using the same approach? Well, actually it will, because they work on a setting to support a pnpm styled node modules directory. But the reason they don't use it as a default is because some tools don't support symlinks yet, like for instance React Native, and many packages in the ecosystem are basically broken because of this hosted node modules architecture, and they rely on undeclared dependencies. But pnpm actually has a solution for these cases, because pnpm is actually able to also create a classic node modules without using symlinks, and with classic hosting, just set the node linker setting to hosted, and you have a workaround. pnpm also solves the disk space usage issue. If you have many Node.js projects on your computer, you may have noticed that node modules consumes a lot of your disk space. pnpm solves this issue by using a content addressable storage. A content addressable storage is basically a storage that saves files under a hash code, which is calculated from the content of the file. So you can see in this example there is actually a code file in different versions of the same package, but even though they are different versions, the code file is the same. It has no changes. In this case, this file will have the same hash in every package, so a single file will be created for it in the store. So even though you have three packages, you save this file only once in one place in the disk. Every file in Node modules is just a hard link to the content addressable storage. Actually, on systems that support it, not hard links are used, but copy on write files. So probably on Macs and some newer Linux file systems. These files don't consume additional disk space. They are just references to files in the store. It means that if two projects on your computer have the same file in Node modules, in both projects that file will be linked from the same place on the disk. You won't have two copies of the same package. You will just have hard links to the global content addressable store. As a result, dependencies in new projects consume a lot less disk space than with npm or yarn. Now let's talk about... Oh, I have one slide mixed, no problem. So why other package managers don't support the content addressable store? Actually, Yarn has added support for a content addressable store as well, but for now it is an opt-in feature. I think in the next version, V4, they plan to make it on by default. Now let's talk about why pnpm is so fast. In most cases, pnpm is faster than npm and yarn, but why is it so? npm and yarn install dependencies in stages. At the first stage, all the packages are resolved. Then all the packages are fetched from the registry. And when all packages are fetched, the dependencies are written to Node modules. On the other hand, pnpm runs the installation stages separately for each dependency. So while some packages are still being resolved, others are already being fetched. And later on, some packages are written to Node modules, while some others are still being fetched. This makes pnpm incredibly fast, faster than other package managers. And so you might ask why other package managers don't do the same. Actually, some of these speed optimizations are possible only thanks to the unique deterministic node module structure created by pnpm inside the .pnpm folder. Some of these speed optimizations are possible thanks to the usage of the content addressable store. And some of the optimizations make the code of the package managers hard to understand, so it's a trade-off. If you choose to make these optimizations, it will be harder to contribute to your package manager. And the last feature I guess I want to talk about is that pnpm is bundled to an executable, so you may use it on your system even if it doesn't have Node.js pre-installed. And then you may use pnpm to install Node.js and switch between different versions of Node.js. So basically you can use pnpm instead of nvm, nvs or Volta. So which package manager should you use? It depends. You should know about every package manager. You should know about the features of pnpm, yarn, and npm. All of these three package managers are mature, are used by big tech companies, have many contributors, and are reliable. So you really need to learn what features they provide, and on each project probably you should pick the one that best fits your needs. Thanks for attending my presentation. Of course, visit the pnpm website to get more information, and follow the pnpm.js Twitter account, and follow me on Twitter as well. Thank you.